Imagine you are on a sinking boat with a group of people, including a pregnant woman. The boat is about to capsize, and there is only one life raft left that can save some of the passengers. However, the life raft can only hold 3 people. You have to make a difficult decision. Do you save the pregnant woman, who is carrying a new life, or do you save 3 other individuals who are already living? This dilemma raises questions about the value of different lives and the ethical principles one should follow in such situations. There is no easy answer, as both choices involve potential loss of life. This hypothetical situation is designed to challenge you, to consider your personal values, and engage your moral reasoning. What would you do if faced with a situation where your morals are tested to their limits? Morality refers to a set of principles or values that guide individuals or societies in distinguishing right from wrong. It encompasses concepts such as ethics, virtue, justice, and fairness. Morality provides a framework for making decisions and evaluating actions based on their moral implications. It is a fundamental aspect of our existence that shapes our thoughts, actions, and interactions with others. Different cultures and individuals may have varying interpretations of what is morally right or wrong, leading to diverse ethical systems. According to Immanuel Kant, morality is based on the concept of duty and the categorical imperative. Kant believed that moral actions are those performed out of a sense of duty rather than personal inclination or desire. He proposed the principle of the categorical imperative as a universal moral law that applies to all rational beings. This principle states that one should act only according to maxims that they would be willing to see become universal laws. In other words, we should only act in ways that we believe would be morally acceptable if everyone else were to act in the same way. He emphasized the importance of treating others as ends in themselves, rather than merely as means to an end. For him, morality lies in acting in accordance with reason and respecting the inherent dignity and autonomy of every person. For Aristotle, morality is closely tied to the concept of virtue and living a virtuous life. He believed that morality is not simply about following a set of rules or laws, but rather it is about cultivating good character traits and habits. You recognize 2 types of virtues: moral virtues and intellectual virtues. Moral virtues are qualities such as honesty, courage, and generosity, which are acquired through practice and habituation. Intellectual virtues, on the other hand, are qualities like wisdom and understanding, which are developed through education and rational thinking. For Aristotle, the goal of morality is to achieve well-being. He believed that by living a virtuous life, we can achieve true happiness and fulfillment. Virtuous actions are those that strike a balance between extremes, avoiding both excess and deficiency. He also emphasized the importance of practical reasoning in moral decision-making. He believed that choices should be guided by reason and the pursuit of the mean, finding the moderate and balanced course of action between extremes. Overall, Aristotle's moral philosophy accentuates the importance of virtue, reason, and the pursuit of a well-lived life in determining what is morally right and good. According to philosopher John Stuart Mill, morality is based on the principle of utilitarianism. Mill argued that actions are morally right if they promote happiness or pleasure, and morally wrong if they lead to unhappiness or pain. He believed that the ultimate goal of morality is to maximize overall happiness for the greatest number of people. Mill's moral theory emphasizes the importance of individual liberty and autonomy. He believed that we should have the freedom to pursue our own happiness, as long as our actions do not harm others. This idea is known as the harm principle. Furthermore, Mill believed in the concept of higher and lower pleasures. He distinguished between pleasures of the mind and pleasures of the body, considering intellectual and moral pleasures to be of higher value than mere physical or sensual pleasures. According to him, a truly moral person should prioritize the pursuit of higher pleasures over lower ones. Overall, Mill's moral philosophy promotes the idea of maximizing happiness, protecting individual liberty, and distinguishing between different types of pleasures in order to make ethical decisions. Let's consider 2 individuals, Alex and Ben. Alex enjoys indulging in fast food, sugary snacks, and other pleasurable but unhealthy foods. On the other hand, Ben prefers a balanced diet consisting of nutritious whole foods. In this scenario, we can argue that Alex is primarily seeking lower pleasures. The taste and immediate gratification provided by fast food and sugary snacks are more accessible and provide instant satisfaction. However, these pleasures are often short-lived and can have negative long-term consequences on health. On the contrary, Ben is focused on higher pleasures. While he may not experience the same level of immediate pleasure as Alex, his preference for nutritious foods contributes to his overall well-being and long-term happiness. Ben derives satisfaction from knowing that he is taking care of his health, maintaining a balanced lifestyle, and investing in his future well-being. This case highlights the distinction between higher and lower pleasures. Lower pleasures are often associated with immediate gratification and sensory experiences, while higher pleasures involve long-term satisfaction, personal growth, and well-being. It's important to note that the classification of pleasures as higher or lower is subjective and can vary based on individual values and perspectives. Morality has evolved over time as societies and cultures have progressed. Throughout history, moral values and norms have been shaped by various factors such as religious beliefs, philosophical ideas, social structures, and advancements in human understanding. In ancient times, morality was often closely tied to religious or supernatural beliefs. Moral codes were established based on the teachings of religious figures or divine commandments. These codes provided guidelines for how individuals should behave and treated topics such as honesty, fairness, and respect. As civilizations developed and expanded, philosophical thoughts emerged, challenging and expanding upon traditional moral frameworks. Philosophers proposed ethical theories that explored concepts such as virtue, justice, and the well-being of individuals and communities. These philosophical ideas influenced moral thinking and contributed to the evolution of ethical systems. The rise of organized religions also played a significant role in shaping morality. Religious texts and teachings provided moral guidance, emphasizing compassion, love, and moral responsibility toward others. As societies became more diverse, different religious and cultural values interacted, leading to the development of nuanced moral perspectives. In recent times, morality has continued to evolve in response to societal changes, scientific advancements, and global interconnectedness. Topics such as environmental ethics, animal rights, and equality have gained prominence, reflecting the evolving moral concerns of contemporary societies. It is important to note that moral values can vary across cultures and individuals. While some principles, such as honesty and empathy, are commonly valued across societies, specific moral codes and ethical frameworks may differ. The ongoing evolution of morality reflects our collective efforts to navigate complex, ethical dilemmas and strive for a more just and compassionate world. Cultural norms are often shaped by the moral perspectives prevalent in a society. For instance, the respect for elders. Many cultures place a strong emphasis on respecting and caring for elders. This norm reflects a moral perspective that values wisdom, experience, and the intergenerational bond. It often includes practices like filial piety, where children are expected to care for their aging parents. Another example is dietary practices. Some cultures have norms that prohibit the consumption of certain animals or certain types of food based on religious or ethical beliefs. These norms reflect moral perspectives regarding the treatment of animals, environmental sustainability, or spiritual purity. In some cultures, like Western societies, individualism is emphasized, and personal autonomy and freedom are highly valued. This can manifest in cultural norms that prioritize individual rights and choices. On the other hand, collectivist cultures prioritize communal harmony and interdependence, leading to cultural norms that value cooperation and collective well-being. Let us take a look at another dilemma. The trolley problem is a well-known thought experiment in the field of ethics that presents a moral dilemma. Imagine you are standing near a railway track, and there is an out-of-control trolley hurtling down the tracks. Ahead, there are 5 people tied to the rails, who are unable to escape. However, next to you, there is a lever that, if pulled, will divert the trolley onto a different track where only one person is tied. The question then arises, Should you pull the lever to save 5 lives at the expense of 1? From a utilitarian perspective, the greatest good for the greatest number is the guiding principle. In this case, pulling the lever would result in saving 5 lives, which outweighs the sacrifice of 1 life. Utilitarians argue that the end justifies the means and that maximizing overall happiness and well-being is morally right. In contrast, a deontological perspective holds that certain actions are inherently right or wrong, regardless of their consequences. Deontologists argue that pulling the lever would be a violation of the principle of not harming others intentionally. They believe that ethical decisions should be based on universal moral principles rather than the potential outcome. Virtue ethics focuses on the development of moral character and emphasizes the importance of personal virtues in ethical decision-making. From a virtue ethics perspective, the decision to pull the lever or not would depend on the virtues one possesses and seeks to cultivate. For example, virtues such as compassion and benevolence may lead an individual to prioritize saving the 5 lives. Cultural relativism asserts that moral values and beliefs are subjective and vary across different cultures and societies. In this case, individuals from different cultural backgrounds might have varying perspectives on whether to pull the lever or not. Cultural relativism acknowledges that moral judgments are influenced by cultural norms, traditions, and beliefs. Each individual may approach the trolley problem differently based on their personal values, experiences, and beliefs. Some may feel compelled to save as many lives as possible, while others may hesitate due to the fear of actively causing harm to someone. Personal ethical reflections highlight the complexity and subjectivity of moral decision-making.